sanity. You can go through your whole life telling yourself that life is logical. You can tell yourself that life is prosaic. Life is sane. Above all, sane. But I think it is. I've had a lot of time to think about this, and what I keep coming back to is Miss Underwood's dying declaration.
So, we understand that even when we increase the number of variables, the axioms themselves never change.
I really believe that. The axioms themselves never change. I think, therefore I am. There's hairs on my face, therefore I shave. My wife and child get critically injured in a car accident, therefore I pray. It's all logical. It's all sane. We live in the best of all possible worlds. So, hand me a cigarette from my right and a bud from my left. Turn on Starsky and Hutch and listen to the soft, harmonious note that is the world turning on its celestial gyros. Logic. Zen. Like Coca-Cola, it's the real thing. But, as John D. MacDonald, Warner Brothers, and Long Island Dragway know so well, there's a Mr. Hyde behind every happy Jekyll face. A darker face on the other side of the mirror. The brain behind that face never heard of razor blades or prayers or the logic of the universe. You turn that mirror sideways, and you'll see yourself reflected with a sinister left-hand twist. Half mad, half sane. The other side says that the universe has all the logic of a little boy with his Halloween cowboy suit, with his guts and his trick-or-treat candy spread all over a mile of Interstate 95. This is the logic of napalm, paranoia, suitcase bombs carried by happy Arabs, random sarcoma. This logic eats itself. It says, life is a monkey on a stick. It says, life spins as hysterically and erratically as a penny you flick to see who buys lunch. Nobody looks at that side unless they have to. And I can understand that. You look at that side if you hitch a ride with a drunk in a GTO who puts it up to 110 and starts blubbering about how his wife turned him out. You look at that side if there's a guy driving across Indiana shooting kids on bicycles. You look at that side if your sister says, I'm going down to the store for a minute, big guy, and then gets killed in a holdup. You look at that side if you hear your dad talking about slitting your mother's throat. Life is a roulette wheel, and anyone who says that the game is rigged is whining. Because no matter how many numbers there are, the principle of that little light jittering ball stays the same. And all that weirdness isn't just going on the outside. It's inside you too. Growing in the dark like magic mushrooms. Call it the thing in the cellar. Call it the blow lunch factor. Call it the Looney Tunes file. I call it my own personal dinosaur. Huge, slimy, and mindless, wandering through the pits of my subconscious, never finding a tar pit big enough to hold it. But that's just me, and we've come to talk about them. The bright college-bound who, metaphorically speaking, went to the store one day to get milk and wound up in the middle of a holdup. I'm a documented case. Routine grist for the paper mills. 1,000 newsboys have hawked me on 1,000 street corners. I had 50 seconds in Chancellor Brinkley, a column and a half in Time, and I stand before you today and tell you that I am perfectly sane. I may have a few crooked wheels upstairs, but everything is ticking along just 4-0, thank you very much. So them. How do we describe them? We have to discuss that, don't we?
Do you have an office pass, Mr. Decker?
She asked. Yes, I said, and I pulled the gun from my belt. I wasn't even sure if it was loaded until it went off. I shot her in the head. She fell sideways onto the desk, and then rolled onto the floor. She never saw it coming. I'm sure that expectant expression never left her face. I'm the sane one. I'm the croupier. I'm the guy who spins the ball against the spin of the wheel. The guy who lays his money on black or red. The girl who lays her money on odd or even. What about them? I shot her. She fell. And there was an indescribable moment, an infinite duration of time, where we all stepped back and watched the ball go round. I think that moment ended. I really do. But sometimes, in the back of my mind, in the darkness, I think that that moment is still going on, that the ball is still in play. The wheel is still in spin. And I dreamed all the rest. What must it be like for a suicide coming down off of a high ledge? It must be a very sane feeling, I'm sure. That's probably why they scream all the way.